All right, guys, welcome back once again. You're here with the Dragon from Dragon Works. And where I left off was I'd removed the fuel tank out of this 1978 Honda GL1000 Goldwing. The owner took it, did a cleaning process, brought it back, and pretty much the inside of the tank turned out like that. It's got a tiny bit of flash rust. It always does that whenever you clean them. And we put some oil in it and some gas and sloshed it all around and treated it. And we'll go ahead and put a inline filter in. He may have to change it a couple times, if he gets any debris or whatever, but it actually turned out really good. He did a great job. And the tank wasn't as bad as we thought. It was really just old gas and sediment that had been built up over the years. Like maybe somebody let it dry out. They just added gas and then that dried out and it gets like layers. So it turned out really good. He fared out really well. So anyway, shout out to Barry Russell. Been hitting me up on YouTube last couple evenings saying he's following along. This has been really helpful. And just wanted to point out that inside this tank here, or on the side of the tank, I should say, there's indentations where these breather hoses and wire harness and all run through. And the tank actually went in way better than it came out because I was a little more prepared for some things. But what I realized was as long as I kept this lined up, and the same thing on the other side, there's a clutch cable and some other stuff and another indentation. The tank went in relatively easy compared to coming out. I still had to tap it in a little because, like I told you in the last video, where's my light? Okay, hang on one second. I'll just prop it up here. You can see there's like a rubber grommet that is on a tab and it goes in that bracket right there. And that's really tight. And when I was trying to take it out, it was actually stuck. It wouldn't let go. So I kind of soaked it up with some soapy water and it slid right in. So as long as you are patient and, like I say, get these wires in the right spot where there's a little indentation, everything's a little snug, but you can work that thing right back in. And like I showed you in another video, I already had cleaned up the old sending unit and tested it. It works good. So I got that reinstalled. I wish I'd have showed inside the tank, but you can imagine what it looked like. It's galvanized. It cleaned up really, really good. No rust, no pitting or nothing. All right, got the one and only bolt that holds the tank in right here. That's back in. And I got to put on the petcock because my customer brought me a genuine Honda petcock that he found. So we're putting in a brand new petcock. It even comes with the little O-rings. There's the part number. I think it fits a lot of Hondas, but I'm excited because this is actually my parts box, and this is all that's left. I got fork seals, brake pads, and the dust covers to do on this bike. And like I said, I'm getting ready to install the petcock on it so we can actually try out the fuel tank and start this thing back up. But then, like I was mentioning before, just like most of these projects, people dive into them thinking it's just going to be something quick and easy. And they say, well, I want it to be dependable, fix everything that's wrong with it. And then it starts adding up because they also wanted me to recondition it as I worked my way back out. But then he had an epiphany, hey, this is going to cost more than the bike's worth. And so he decided to do a bunch of the stuff himself. So I'm just going to get it back to running, get it put back together. Like I say, finish it up, do the fork seals and the brakes, and then ship it off to him. And I guess he's going to put it all back together. But the bike was just so neglected in the past. I mean, the fork seals have been leaking, looks like a good 20 years. They were all down the brake. I ended up washing that off in the wheel initially, but I still got to clean that up really good. But yeah, it's just been pouring out of there for, I don't know how long, both sides. And the bike pretty much needed everything. Carbs, some electrical, brakes, all that kind of stuff. So it's not a bad bike at all. It's actually in really good shape, but this is, like I say, it's a 1978 Honda that's been stored a lot, neglected. And that's what happens to these bikes, you know. So it's just the reality of what it is. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get back to work. I got to get this thing put back together, do the brake pads, put the wheel on, the shocks, the exhaust back on, get all that stuff done, and try out the tank, put some gas in it, make sure the tank and the pump and everything's working. And then, like I say, get back to finishing up, getting this front end done. All right, guys, thanks again. I know it's not much of a video, but I hope it helps. All right, guys, Dragon says, thanks for watching, and peace out.